arguably without a doubt, and one of the most accomplished guys around, who is the cannabis user and a great friend and true crew member. My man Kevin, Mr. Soul. How you doing today, brother?
It's cracking. All is well. No
Uh,
complaints.
all right, man. Kevin, man, I think I tell people a little bit, we know each other because we've been crew affiliated for a long years, although, it was a break. It's like when I was in the service, he was active in CST. And then when I came back, he had made an exodus to Atlanta. So our paths didn't overcross like a lot through the 90s and early 2000s. But since then, I think we really got together over at Moto when Sano came in and y'all was doing that good project about 10. Listen, that was a great. If you haven't seen those Indians that they put over there at that place, it's still a great, great piece of art that he did. That we was all painted the weekend. We got cool, very, very cool. Then he was actually shown at that show also. And he has a great, great story. A lot of people, Cleveland is weird. They don't know how national some people are because, I don't know, we don't promote each other a whole lot in the inside. But he did so much work with the Dungeon family and Outcast.
Not
Not
outcast.
Outcast,
Goody
the
mob.
Goody Mob.
Organized no.
I look at it from organized noise. All of them from a certain era is one block to me. You know what I mean? Like when they was getting going, because like when Lalo and Jay Cool and them went down there, that's a funny story too, because they left Austin, Texas, where me and Lalo was hired. I was actually vice president of that company. And Jay Cool and Lalo was down there, and Lalo and Robbie Man Struggling Souls was doing that album. They left there when actually that was wild because Ice Cube had no, it was Dr. Dre had to play Easy E that money for being on the Chronic, and we lost our budget behind that, and that's how they got to Atlanta and they drove over, and that's always a unique situation. And then tell the people probably a little bit about your background, a little bit about you, how you became Mr. Soul, the great graffiti artist that you are, and not just a graffiti artist. Let me not pigeonhole you and not take away your talent as a nationally recognized artist just in the art field. So give a little people a little bit about your background.
Let's see here. Born and raised Cleveland, Ohio, Lee and Harvard. I have been into art my entire life since I was 4 or 5 years old. And so that was pretty much my drill most of my young years. When I got to junior high school, around junior high school is when I started to meet other people who were into hip hop culture, graffiti culture specifically. And around that time, Sano was the sought after individual to get next to in terms of being validated
Oh, absolutely.
and then learning how to elevate the skill set. So Sano definitely became the mentor and tutor to a lot of young black men in Cleveland that ultimately ended up going on to do other things. Myself personally, around November 1996, I had determined that Cleveland was not the place that would allow me to grow where I was trying to grow. And me and my friend at the time, Rashad, who was the publisher of a weekly hip hop magazine called Planet Black Magazine. It was a weekly insert in the Calling Post. This was 95, 96. And with 96, we went to Atlanta with that, figuring that would be a better market for us to be able to hustle that. While in Atlanta, is kind of like how I was able to work my way into some of these other spaces, being that Atlanta at the time was, the music mecca, pretty much still is, if you
Yeah,
will.
up
You
and
know.
coming for sure around that time.
And so I spent 20 years in Atlanta, and from 96 2016, my father passed away unexpectedly October 6th, 2016, 2 days after his birthday. And that's what ultimately brought me back to Cleveland. I'm my mother's only child. My mom was also sick at the time, so I felt like coming back home was the thing that I probably should do.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really come back here with no plan or really desire. I came based off of necessity.
Right.
And so from that point on, I've been here 8 years. It's 8 years in October that I've been here,
Right.
and still tread the water.
Oh, I appreciate. And he being very nonchalant, and I love his history. But then also, let me tell you right now, a lot of people do art shows and do things too. What I will say is the things that you and the crew are involved with as a unit are always successful. It's something about the collective of you guys. It's just always so powerful. And to me, no matter what people and artists, white, black, all kinds of culture in this and all different forms of media don't understand as an organization and how hard it is for artists to stay paid in your craft. And out of all the young guys coming up, I am always, it's almost like I hold you in high esteem in the way you can still be of the business part of things and get the bag. I think that's a talent that a lot of people don't understand. And I will, since this is a cannabis show, and I do know parts of your situation, like I like to talk about the cannabis use from the business side and the artist side. From it, not so much the artist side as in when you're creative. I see you dig down on business, and because that's similar to us. I mean, as everybody doing business in America, certain way we got to go. It's rules to the game, taxes, promotion, the way you go about things. This sort of could. But then also, from an artist standpoint, I have no idea how you are inspired, how any of, because I think it's all different. But then I know like certain things and how meticulous you are about, out of all the people been able to get some product to, your care about what's in it and the composition of it. It's just been consistent since the day I met you. Like
Right.
literally, like I mean this. Like let me tell you right now, Soul is a pleasure to service him sometime and pause with that to take care of him.
Oh,
Mega pause to get him some of the products like that because he is knowledgeable, and also that's gonna mean I gotta look it up before I call you because I want to know because he want to know,
I want to know.
and that is very unique. But the differences between maybe how cannabis help you in the business and maybe out the creativity side of that, is it a different?
Not really.
Not really.
Not
Okay.
really. I mean, I think it's all in the same lane. Sometimes it's not good for business. Sometimes it's not good when I'm creating. It just depends on the thing. But I think, cannabis is an integral part of, artistic culture, for a lot of artists. Definitely for this one speaking right now. And, I like to know it's medicinal cannabis for a reason because different strains do different things. And I hate when niggas be talking about they got gas or if they getting that under pressure. Nigga, this the name of since you got some look it up and make stuff. Good sure that this bag you selling me is not gonna put me to sleep. We got stuff to do.
Have.
And so I'm a snob in terms of I was on the road what I'm smoking.
I absolutely love it. I see the chat is filled up with a bunch of people. I don't know why you're trolling me about some Trump stuff, but you can call into the radio station at 216-249-6650 if you got any questions for us. We'll get you live. Like I said, my man EP is on the board tonight. And that is, and comment on that last thing. I agree with you. I look for creativity different ways, and it does make a difference whether it was business or art. Or if I was producing something, I'm always looking for an edge or to see something different and a different perspective about things. I think what I was probably itching toward is it a difference between maybe sativa and indica business to art for you?
So that's why it's valuable to know what I'm smoking, so I know if it's an indica or sativa.
Right.
And even still, knowing whether it's an indica or sativa is not enough.
Absolutely.
Because there's some sativas that I don't like.
Yes.
There's some indicas that I don't like at certain times. So by knowing the strain, what was created, what was used to create that strain, and you can try to kind of trace the lineage of what the effect is. So, for example, like in creative mode, like right now I'm painting, I'm working
Yeah.
on a painting, and it could go either way. Like I could smoke a sativa and let his beat turn up,
Right.
or I could smoke an indica and just really zone
In. Yeah.
just like be like more mellow and level with it. Whereas the sativa, might have me bouncing around. Was a really hyperactive, yeah, hyper involved. So again, it just depends on what's going on. Certain projects that I'm working on, certain things that I'm creating, it's not I'm not trying to be bouncing off the wall or hyper anxious
Right.
like a sativa can do. So it really just depends.
Yeah.
I'm a
That.
connoisseur. I do know my favorite strains is OG Kush.
Oh, that's
Is
so
my
crazy.
and then it's very rare to be able to find. You probably I don't even know if they even make it anymore. But to find OG.
And bruh, I can't wait. We got something we gonna do live on air because today, all my guests I like to give, except for my next guest, she don't smoke. Well, I think I took her yesterday. EP over here with his hand raised. EP, put your hand down, bro. You'll get that stuff, man. That's gonna go into the community. That's funny that you said that because I do got Marshmallow OG today, and and it is specific, and it was such a throwback that I was like, man, see, I forgot about that OG part of the Marshmallow. The new strain that's the same strain renamed was Marshmallow Puff. So all you people under 35 or who don't know, it was Marshmallow Puff. I actually this kid Priest up in Michigan. I know these girls too. That's the other thing, and I appreciate Mr. Soul for how he is meticulous about what he wants because I'm equally meticulous and he'll tell you I search. You're not gonna get no bad bag of weed from me. I'm gonna tell you that way. I'm gonna tell you that because first thing I do after they pass out the test, I smoke it. And I want to be able to tell you like from me judging what it does to me and knowing your flavor profile, it's easier for me to put on. Like so, he is very meticulous. Today was the first day that he said, "Okay, run that." And I said one thing, "Oh shit, I got Marshmallow OG," and he just instantly said, "Okay," because we got a relationship, and he could say, "Okay, big bro, I kind of know you know me, so I know you," and that's where it's gonna be. I'm trying to tell you the way the market is going into the future. You're gonna want to know your grower. Cause I'm trying to tell you, this Garbino that came out, I hit my boy up from East Cleveland just yesterday. He came by with this shit. They should have called it Wiz Khalifa Black and Yellow. Never seen weed like this before. And in all honesty, it smelled like wet crack. I don't know if anybody been around somebody when they was stirring up crack. That shit was chemically nasty.
Yeah, I saw somebody had some black and gold looking weed and now John. I don't know.
Black and gold, like in the history, all you have to do is like Kevin do. Look up on Leafy. It's
Allbud.com.
yes, man. And if that shit don't look like something that's on there, and they used to have a one site that they'll tell you whether it was in 90%, 96% of accurate from a picture to say what it is. But let me tell you, the China and some scrupulous businessman is out here trying to trash that weed up. And I try to tell everybody all the time, they'll get some CBD, they'll get a Wagner spray painter and put some Delta 9 as totally made in the chemistry, not grown and extracted naturally from the plant. They manufacture this stuff, spray it on all the weed, and give it right over to the neighborhood. So all you people, if you buy an ounce for under $100 or $75, bro, your red flag should be up. You just is that's not where I'll be the first one to tell you guys when we get that cheap. Cheap weed like that is dangerous weed. And I'm gonna say not all of it, but 9 out of 10 is not good for you. So that bag, it was black and yellow, and he called it wedding cake. I was like, first I ain't never seen
Fat cake, dog. Well, the cake ain't black and yellow, but
ain't black and yellow. How you gonna call it? And when you open the bag, I was like, I never in my life smelled weed, not even the old monkey paw or something. Even wet don't smell like
smells
that.
straight chemical.
Yeah, bro, it smelled like I hate to tell you. I asked the dude, like, Dave, did you put this shit in the old crack bag? I mean, like that's what it smelled like to me. But you have to be cautious out there. And as I said, knowing your grower, knowing where it's coming from, and the source of things is going to be so very important to me. Looking at other markets, that's who's going to go. That's why Two Chains and the guy sell ounces for $1,000 because he's growing veganic weed, and you know he's growing it. It's only going to be 6 pounds of it every 3 months to 4 months. And it sell out every time. That's because he's putting in care. He down there sleeping with his plants. And it's taking
Kind of security. culture.
The connoisseur.
It's a connoisseur of the culture of cultivation, where some people just trying to make money off it.
Absolutely, and that is always to me one of the things. I think we're gonna come up on our first break here. We're gonna pause for the cause. We're gonna hit the little Puffco. We got some today. We're gonna get a little. We got some guava left over. It's very very good. Thanks to my people up at Farm by Made by Farmers up in Michigan. We're gonna go up there. I was up there this week. We're gonna go back in 2 weeks, so look out for that. We're gonna be on the 200-acre farm when they get ready to harvest. So if anybody want to come be my cameraman, film man, grip, and get a photo op, log on to Sohio 216 SOHIGHO 216 at Gmail. First 5 people, I'll take you on a road trip. We'll be back after these messages from the Voice and Radio station. Hey, yeah. Nah, I guess got. So then I'll probably go. Your next one probably would be what? How do you feel about the legalization changing over in Ohio? From where it was way too hot. They ain't fairly. I love that shit though, man. EP, we rolling on YouTube today. I got a shit ton of chat. I don't know why I won't. But it's kind of like trolley chats, though. I'm down for Trump, and you know what I'm saying. Like I don't know what that is.
You on Instagram?
That's on YouTube on Ohio Gas Company on YouTube.
Oh, you do.
Yeah, he got the Facebook from Earl Porter Voice and Radio get the most views, and that's the one. Yeah, but I'll make a copy of it. I'll download it MP4 it and then get it over to you.
All right, that's a good man.
Yeah, so we'll go. I got like 2 more. We'll go. I like you got to talk about legalization, and then we probably talk about how cannabis is influencing art, culture, and specifically the clean. We'll get to that. But see, we got it good. We done had 420 shows.
Yeah, that's the better than that. Like for me, the 420 show started in 2015, and then went the Chris Hover means the first 420 show.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
In my circle.
yeah.
Chef and Mike came out, Lil Duval came out, and then got some condition now. That was 2015. So that's what's the ring?
Yeah, that's the guava.
I hit this contraction.
Just hit it. Just boil. Just in here.
With that initial debt, so I'm here at all its tone cams ring.
I was about to say you might be the only no, nobody have not called.
I'm cool with being first.
Okay, next, please.
They got me beat. Come on.
Yeah,
Still cough.
I was. Yeah.
May Wednesday from 6-7 p.m. on Voice Radio.
Hey, before we get out to, let him do that voice drop for me when you record those. So I can start getting mine up. I want him to do like that. Look, yeah. The soul got, yeah. The soul, you got to see his art, though. EP.
Put you on Instagram?
Mr. Soul.
Whoa, that's O-U-L. Mr. L. Spelled out. MISTERSOUL.
Mr. Soul.
Yeah. 216.
This message and save lives. This message brought.
Oh, yeah. Let me get some shit up.
What's going on?
What is your Facebook with you? Because you got Facebook. Facebook is MR.SOUL 216. But most of my content is on Instagram.
We'll put these made by Farmers Friday. They gonna let me freaking. I swear, you want to do an interview? Y'all better come out YouTube and sign up for that. Ohio 216 at Gmail. 200 acres. It's gonna take. It's like 2.5 hours. It's right on the other side of Ann Arbor, close to Michigan. And bruh, I mean, I never stood in that much weed in my life. I mean, let me tell you, it is. It's just overwhelming when you drive by the one field, you just want to stop and he take you to a bigger field. Welcome back to this Ohio Gas Company podcast. Here we got the one and only Mr. Soul in the studio with us today, talking about art, culture, and the cannabis community. You know, a lot of people don't know that a lot of artists do kind of get inspiration for this thing, and I've been lucky enough to participate with you and over the years and the people over at Red Lion and doing a 420 style art show. And the original ones, it's kind of watered down now, but the original ones was literally like you like 2-3 months out, everybody produced cannabis related pieces, and those first shows we was doing, and that also has turned into an annual event. You want to know where I'm at on 420? It's behind the event that he helped orchestrate, create back in the day, the 420 art show. And I do want to talk to you a little bit about how cannabis is relating in the art scene here, specifically around Cleveland, and probably a little bit about that origin on those first 420 shows that you were throwing.
Oh, well, for myself, the 420 art show for myself began in 2015 when I was still in Atlanta with my CIPIA, my City of Ink teams. Myself and my brother Chris Carter, we were already curating art shows like at around 2015. City of Ink was 8 years old at that time, so we had been doing art shows for 8 years over that course of time. So we just had a bright idea to do a 420 theme show, and I still got out to show you the pictures. But we did this art show. All the artists did pieces that were inspired by 420 culture. My homeboy Chris has a brand called Drinks Up, so he provided the drinks.
Yeah.
And this was probably one of the bigger art shows that we had that wasn't the anniversary show. We had a gang of people on the roof, so you could go like next door. My brother Maya had a loft upstairs. You can go out the window and sit on the roof.
Okay.
So we had probably about at least 30, 40, maybe 50 people on the roof.
Yeah.
So the roof at the time it was vacant. Now it's Two Chainz restaurant. But in 2015 it was vacant. So we had this big 420 party. It was like one of the biggest. It was more of a party than an art show.
Let me ask you one question, Sidebar. Was marijuana
No.
Okay.
No.
That's what I really like. That was the underground traditional party.
No, it was an underground party, and then we had a lot of people came out. Killer Mike came, Lil Duval came. We had a few other people pop through, and it was just a good time. It was a bunch of people smoking in the loft, outside but I believe the rooftop was the culmination.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was the first time we had allowed people on the roof, let alone be out there like that ourselves. It was just a dope vibe. Everybody was lighting up, getting high.
Yeah, that is so great. Now, I know some of your pieces that you did. One of my favorite, if you guys don't see back, if you don't see them on Facebook or YouTube, look out. This is one of his signature guys, and I remember the 420 show that you did here in Cleveland. I freaking him-hawed over buying that piece with that guy smoking.
It's still for sale.
Oh, God. Listen, look him up. We're going to make sure you get his. If you want to support black businesses and black artists, brown artists, not really, just to be honest with you, I say that because, I think sometimes we don't get a fair advantage, but just in general, artists, a great artist, you could take the label off of this as great art.
I'm black,
great,
though.
but he is black. He is a great artist. The time and the inspiration he puts into his pieces is well worth taking out. And that's when I really was like, man, that piece right there. And when we did the Cleveland shows, the first ones, to me, just was, we kind of dialed it back down a little bit. It's open to other artists and things like that. But those first ones was so high quality and it was so straight. And those was the ones where you and Roots, I can't recall his name right now. Yeah, y'all was curating those. And those was like, it wasn't a 420 party. It was an art show that we smoked weed at, to be, if you ask me. But it was themed around 420, but I still had a culture. And I think maybe the second or third year when Johnny O came through that mug, I really felt like we was like legitimate, bro.
Picture from that one too. But the piece you was talking about, I did that maybe 2 years ago, but it
Okay.
was my eyeball character. But the name of the piece was Smoking Ops.
Mo.
And so out of the smoke was George Bush, Christopher Columbus, uh, who else I have in there? J. Edgar Hoover
Yeah.
and General Lee, I believe.
That's
So
good
the
stuff.
piece is inspired by a twist on Chicago culture because the whole usage of the word ops is that's out of Chicago
Right.
street culture, but obviously it's my responsibility to put a political, social, positive spin on it. So when you look at the drug game in America and how black men and black women have been incarcerated at higher levels, and you look at it being a kind of a systemic thing. I looked at an opportunity to open up a conversation about going to this piece. So I had my character smoking a blunt or smoking a joint, forming smoke out of these ops to the black community. Ronald Reagan was there too. When the Reagan gave us crack, J. Edgar Hoover gave us COINTELPRO. Christopher Columbus was a
Misinformation.
thief and a misinformer. So all of these things I thought were oppositions
Yeah.
of progress, freedom, and justice, and that's kind of like how that piece was born. And I was definitely smoking some
That
indicas
right.
when I.
It remind me of that joke. I don't know if you remember when I don't know who it was, but they was just like, roll that shit, smoke that, blow that shit out, like at the end of the night. And I know a lot of people who use cannabis for that. They don't drink anymore, but they like to take the edge off. So they take their problem
Mhm.
and they inhale their problem and they exhale and they blow it out. And that's sort of like when you saying that and you describing that piece to me, that's what that is. Like, okay, I recognize the problem, but I'm gonna exhale that shit. And when the smoke leave my body, that problem is leaving my body also. I definitely like that concept of that picture. And you gotta, we're gonna give you all this social media and where you can look at these art. And like you said, he is an artist that sells art for a living. He is a professional artist, and that means he sell his art talents for money and to live. So look that up. Support him. He just let me know he has direct to garment T-shirts that's available also, and he has a lot of pieces. And I'm definitely gonna get one of his pieces in my collection. Sometime I ain't got enough. I gotta go sell some more dimes and nicks up for some of his stuff. But don't get it's gonna appreciate. They are very, very good. He does a very good job. Now, upcoming, do you have any events or any projects that's coming up that you like to promote?
Well, I'm coming off the tail end of doing my first ever
Yes. Oh,
solo
talk about
show.
that. Talk about that. Hold on. Stop right there. He showed in Atlanta by itself like this year. And let me tell you how huge that is. It's one thing to show around in your local town, sort of one thing. But once you start going to another state and doing an art show, you are gaining national recognition. And I'll give you all the props in the world. I knock a lot of people because I call them DJ local because they will not break out of their neighborhood. Basically,
Out the neighborhood.
they
That's Cleveland culture.
that's clear. Even our graffiti culture, some dudes is only spray painting on the east side, and I was like, "You whack! If you don't take that shit to the west side, go down to Columbus." And I was back, and you old enough to remember that culture. Like shit, if you was getting your name up, you had to throw it up around a few. Oh, you was
Yeah, I
that
mean
dude.
that's why I don't don the title graffiti artist
Yeah,
because it's disrespectful to graffiti art. I'm an artist that
that's
can do graffiti,
yes.
but I'm not a graffiti artist.
Thank you because of that.
No person that I met in Atlanta, his name is Graffiti. He's a graffiti artist, and he's in an active graffiti MSK, which is a real good crew. But I always looked up to Dax as like as the evolution of what a graffiti artist was, and other artists, but just because I was in Atlanta and I would see him move around, the evolution of what a graffiti artist is when you come out of that teen stage, like to this day, Dax is he's throwing up throw ups, he's
Yeah,
tagging, he got pieces and he got merch, he do shows, like he's a
yeah.
well rounded visual artist, but it's centered around graffiti culture.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's important for myself. I always like the title visual artist, visual art. Little, it's a little more encompassing of all these other things that I do. But I don't even know how we got on.
Yeah, that's that good ass weed. That's that dad we took
There we
from
go.
him. Yeah, that was good. But what do you have like in the way of the
Oh yeah,
future coming up? Yeah.
yeah. So that's what I was talking about. So I'm off the tail end of doing my first
Oh, that's
solo
that's the
show
one. I did that to you. I put you on the rabbit trail.
that I did in June. It was my 50th birthday present to myself. That was one of the things that I had set as a goal for myself prior to turning 50.
Okay.
So I did this show June 7th, June 12th, I turned 50 years old. So I did that. I did in the span of 2 months and change. I produced about 20 pieces for this show, great show. And so right now I'm kind of still on that high.
Right.
But I did just recently start working on some pieces.
Okay.
I might do something here. I ain't saying nothing until I decide that I'm gonna do it. But just that and mostly just staying creative, man. That's the most important.
That is so very good. Well, and you when we can bring a guest in, we always like to bless them with a little bit of Ohio love, which you know well about. And this one is a Marshmallow OG, and it's very good. And this one, just so he knows, this 60/40, and that's gonna be 60/40 on the sativa to the indica. So it's 60 sativa, 40 indica. And I'll tell you right now, just in general, it's just high THC. So I don't give a damn what that talking about.
Yeah,
Just bang it. Yeah.
sometimes that don't even. Sometimes that doesn't even matter. Like
Yeah.
it's,
Composition.
yeah, it's a variety of different things that make that strain the thing
Yeah.
that it is. You know.
Yeah, this one is.
All right.
Let me tell you, the THC is up at the 28%. So even
Oh,
though you
that's
get,
that's
so
cool.
to me, yeah, you're gonna get that front end, like, oh yeah, I feel like that. Then all of a sudden you be like, maybe I smoke too much of that shit because I'm THC heavy right now.
And it's a sativa, so I already know if you tell me it's in the 28 to 30s and it's sativa, that's a real quick. Since anything more than that might I'd be too anxious.
Thank you very much. And that's me. I did not like me in the daytime. I don't like being over like 17 to 20. Don't call me a chump. But I really got shit to do, man. And just like we forgot what we was doing, it's a real phenomenon is short-term memory loss. And I do want to tell everybody, I will always be remiss if I get off this program ever with telling you that gummies tear you up. And I was wondering, probably my last question to you, do you have an edible store?
Oh yeah, I do. So in Atlanta, at the shop, this guy came through the shop one day with some cupcakes. The cupcakes were about this, maybe about this big, quarter that big, right? But you could smell my dude when he walked through the door, right?
Yeah.
So everybody, we got these cupcakes. I think I got like 3 of them or something like that. So the next morning, the shop opens at 1 o'clock. There used to be a tea shop, like a tea and coffee shop, right down the street where I would go have like a little quick breakfast. So I had some tea, and then I ate one of the brownies. I mean, one of the cupcakes, right? So it's like, okay, cool. Now I'm there at 8:30, 9 o'clock. So around 12:30, the shop is about to open. So I eat another one. Right? Here they chase it. Yes. But I have never had no edibles like this in my life. Prior to this, edibles are like hit or miss, mostly miss. So get to the shop, then we have a session. So my dude rolls a fat ass, some type of purple blunt, so a joint. So we just lit, right? Now this shit kicking in. I'm like, yo, I know. Why am oh damn. Okay. So my friend had took one of these. She don't smoke or eat. She don't do nothing, right? But she was curious. She took a corner of one of these small cupcakes.
Right.
Man, it was about. So I was hot till like 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. And I remember her calling me. And I was in bed with my girlfriend. And she called. She don't never call me. So I'm thinking it's an emergency. I pick up the phone. I'm stoned trying to get to sleep.
Yeah.
What was in that cupcake? What you mean? It was a weed cupcake. Why are you calling me? She's like, why am I still feeling this way? I'm like, girl, you high. And then I hung up the phone at that. But that was probably the strongest. ever had was like, yo, I respect. They put Old Pound in them little cupcakes.
There you go. That's why we always gonna tell you you gotta go low and slow. That's low dosage and go slow. Take a bite like the young lady did, but she actually took too much of a bite probably, and just don't.
It was small. It was small, but she don't smoke.
Right.
So that small piece knocked her out.
That's their question.
Put her down.
Give us all your information where people can find you at and good ways to get in touch to you. And he is an artist for hire. So if you need murals, pieces, I know you could commission him for a project. So give us some information on where we could get in contact with you at.
www.mistersoul216.com. That's MrSoul216.com. And then the quickest way is probably on Instagram, Mr. Soul, MISTERSOUL 216 on Instagram. And you can see me around the city, 93rd, Buckeye area, Union Miles. I have a few murals that I've put around town under
right up on Buckeye
projects.
You know what's crazy is he's got a mural on the closest plug smoke shop to us. It was Nicky's Records, but he has a mural on the side of Raw, 117th and Buckeye. If you wanted to check that out also. To my good buddy, thank you so much. I'm going to have him sit. Dude, we got another special guest that's coming in. And if you don't mind, if you ain't got nothing to do, if you want to, he hang out a little bit because afterwards we'll get
Might learn something.
We're going to take our next break and bring our next guest up. Thank y'all so much for tuning into. Let me just say, I'd be remiss without reminding y'all that I off the Tuesday block here on Voice and Radio. Let me tell you what's coming after me is Al Porter with the Hip Hop Show. And this evening, Hot Mess in the Evening. If you ain't checked out Hot Mess in the Evening, let me tell you, man, we be belly laughing real hard. It's a great show with my man. It's our signature show here at the Voice of Radio. Hot Mess in the Evening with EP this evening. Check that out. That starts at 9:00. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to the Voices Radio. Don't forget you can call us at 216-249-6650 for all your cannabis questions while we're on the air. We'll be right back after these commercial messages. I don't know why all you Trump people is in the chat, though, folks. What in the world, bro? What is up with that, man? You know, if Trump want to pass out some free weed, come on up. You come on up. I don't know why y'all like the old Trumpy Trump, man. That don't make no sense to me. We don't vote for them. I mean, I'll vote for who weed friendly, but that dude ain't really said he was weed friendly or nothing. And JD Vance ain't vote for the weed bill here in Ohio. That's my only political. I could care less. To be honest with you, I don't believe in none of them. But let me tell you what. If you ain't at least gonna vote for the cannabis plan, I ain't messing with you. And you got to check JD's record on that. He kind of hated on us, y'all. I'm not sure. I'm down for your money and everything, but I'm here about this plant now. Don't be doing that. Dang, man. If Trump will smoke a blunt on TV, if they both roll up, I'll vote for them. But if they ain't gonna do that, I don't want these things. I thought you was gonna go live because people use these tropes of being other stuff and get it together.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm tuning in with Crazy Great. Yeah, day 40, man. I'm rolling from in winter rendering.
Oh yeah, we got you.
Hi, I just one more thing.
That's the wolf.
I'm affiliated with the Canna Globe. I'm an affiliate of the Canna Globe company. But my business is called the Wolfpack Dispensary.
All right, I try not to be. I'm gonna give you some good. I'll give you some good questions. I'll give you some good ones that I'm tough about this stuff because I kind of think I know what I'm talking about.
I like that about you. So
No, I do know. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm the best around this joint.
and that's
Can't nobody beat me.
and what I'm saying is this ain't no competition. I don't no competition because I want us to see. Like you get really like. Yeah, well, I make
Because Lalo told me he was coming, and he really called back before you even got here and said you was coming down to talk about this today. And I will stick around and do it easy if we want. All right.
Ohio City barbecue.
Nah, I gotta smack your mama. If y'all didn't go get that Ohio City barbecue, you better go get that shit. And if you do got a drug problem, and even if it's pot, what's the name of it? You go get some help though. You gotta listen to the Voice of Radio commercial, and if you need some munchies, they got that Smack Your Mama barbecue over on the west side too. Oh yeah, that's made by farmers too. We can talk about them. This is my people.
I definitely do this.
Yeah, it's the CBD non-THC.
I
Yeah.
tried some of the products in my business.
Oh yeah. Welcome back to this Ohio Gas Company and the podcast live from the Voice of Radio on the Tuesday Big Block. I'm happy to be kicking it off. I got a special guest. I go from multiple guests canceling week after week, faking me out. I ain't gonna call y'all punk ass names out, but y'all know who y'all are. You just making shit shitty for me. You know what I'm saying? Okay, yeah. And now I got two guests at back to back. So I'm gonna have them introduce themselves. I'm not gonna mess it up. I ain't gonna butcher it. And I do know that we are starting a virtual dispensary, which is very good. And you know me, I'm a proponent. I'll tell you a little bit about me. I'm a proponent of the traditional market. So we cut our teeth. We kept our block crack free. And I feel like everybody in this industry is standing on the good pothead, good weed dealers who've been in this industry before it was legal, recreational, or medicinal. Shit, we've been smoking that shit forever. I wasn't the first one who grew it, but it's been here since I got here. So when industry people come into my marketplace, legal or not, I ain't gonna say gatekeeping. Hell yeah, I'm gonna say gatekeeping. I'll be like, man, if y'all ain't paying us no taxes as a street dude, I don't know what it is, but tell us a little bit about your company. First, introduce yourself, and then tell us a little bit about your company and how you got into the cannabis industry.
Okay, so first of all, my name is Jules Charlton. I am originally from Lorraine, Ohio, born and raised. I moved away to Florida, and I'm not really 420 friendly at all. But I'm 420 acquainted because even if I didn't like coffee, I would still own a Starbucks, correct?
To a certain degree, yes, I would agree with that.
Okay.
Yes.
So when I was introduced to the whole idea of becoming an owner, I've never been an owner of nothing.
Right.
So this meant so much to me to actually be able to step on a pedestal and put my crown on, cock it the way I wanted to cock it, like really represent something that is impactful to the world, not just my city.
Mhm.
So when I watched the information and I know history of our people, being locked away, being put in prison. So then to hear that now Ohio has legalized the growing and selling of cannabis and have done so, and it's been legalized since 2018 when Donald Trump legalized it, correct?
No, absolutely wrong. It's never been legalized nationally ever. It's still a federal, and the problem with that is it's still Schedule 1 federally. So no matter what we talking, we all breaking the law federally. So
Okay.
when it passed over, it was the People Initiative. When we got medical marijuana, it was because the people voted on it. It was a bill that came up, and we had to vote for medical, and the legislators approved medical, and that's the current policy we was on in 18. So it went through regular order in Ohio Congress, and then we got medical in 2018.
So what I like about that is, when you sell in a store and like you said, it's not legal, right? It's additional. It's not. You have to have a medical card. You have to be licensed to distribute. So with this virtual concept, you don't need a license, and you can sell virtually because you're not bagging, cooking, weighing, or trafficking anything, which makes this completely legal. And then because of the compliance, the weight, now you can get away with doing it and getting the drop shipped to the front door.
Okay. Now, I agree with you, and I like that business model, and I see what you said. Like, but then that's also, it's sort of like to me, just hearing that you're the Airbnb or the Uber of the cannabis industry. Like Airbnb is the biggest hotels that don't own a hotel. Uber is the biggest car service that don't own cars. So is your company gonna be the biggest cannabis company that don't grow weed?
No, we are the Amazon of cannabis. We are a big deal. And so what I'm saying to you is I'm not coming here to step on your toes.
You can't. I'm secure. If I say, I promise you, you can't step on my toes.
Okay, so I don't want to, because you said before you was gatekeeping. So
To a certain extent,
yeah.
you know, I'll tell you a little bit about that. If I say I'm gatekeeper, I'm only one person with opinion. It might be other people that agree with my opinion, and I might could represent the voice of some people,
Right.
but absolutely not. I'm just a dude that's sitting there, I'm just sitting here, just like, yeah, absolutely. I got the power you don't give me, and nothing less.
Oh no. So what I'm doing, what I am here for, what I've come back from Florida to Ohio to do is empower my people, to give them a place, a platform where they can make money internationally, becoming owners. I want to train them. I got a 3-step process that I train my people to become owners so they can make money. My whole thing is, if you help your people that's hurting in the city, that's killing each other,
Right.
in the city, that are not united and that are divided, you take away, when they making money together, now all the hatred turns to love. So that is my mission, to help my people see each other as family, not see each other as foes, seeing each other as competition, seeing each other as, nigga, I got more than you got. You see what I'm saying? So the whole concept is, say, see yourself as a big deal, first of all, because everybody has a light to shine in, like the stars in the sky. But in this particular case, I want you to see yourself as a big deal. Come together with me, and let's come together and unite. Because when we don't unite, you let everybody else, every other, I would say race, but you let every other person
Right.
have more dominance over you as far as, financially making money.
I agree. I agree with that. Let me ask you about this business plan now.
Okay.
So it's in the cannabis industry, and it seemed like, okay, I hear your concept, but is your concept working is it like a business plan for any industry, or is it specifically tailored to the cannabis industry? So, because I know it's a virtual dispensary, and I hear what you said. You said you don't need to do this, and that, and you could be in with that. So is this like we send you $300 and find our lesson plan, or do you just say, okay, I'm gonna bootstrap you up, follow these 3 steps, and then in 30 days, let me see what your P&L, that's profit and loss, is looking like?
No.
Or what kind of?
How does that work?
Yeah, I'm just curious. I'm curious on whether I should sign up with you. Should I tell other people?
Oh.
Because right now, I need a little more information on how we gonna get to making this money.
Well, I help you make money immediately the same day you start working with me because of my 3-step process. One, I classify and verify that my things are in fact real. I show them the store virtually. Then I show them, I bring them to the information. So they got to see the whole overview of the compensation plan, the whole of the idea of the plan, right? After that, now I'm getting them paid for their time in the conversation that I have. So before they even decide if they want to sign up with me, they're already making money with me.
See, when you show me that, so I'm gonna take a look for Shushi. When we get into this, so I'm just gonna be able to. Is it like? Are you like saying like I'm gonna be a affiliate program? Like because like so EP, my man EP got a nice following and everything. So could he be? Is it like an Amazon affiliate? Is what you're saying with cannabis?
That's the idea. Like, you know how popular Amazon is. You just click it and order it, and it's drop shit to your front door.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same way this business is, where you just go and send your link to them. I could send you my store right now over the phone, and then you can shop right there. But you don't need to. But if no more just for a person, you just shop and return. That's what my Glow company. They are the ones that house with the cannabis and everything else.
Oh, it is sort of like an affiliate. So you affiliate.
Distributor of
You a distributor. So, just cutting down to the raw tax, I just tell you straight up, it seemed like, okay, to me, being from the traditional market, which is really our market here in Ohio, we cut our chops on crack. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. And it's always about cutting the middleman out. I don't care what you talk about. I want to be next to the Colombian that's growing the damn cocaine. If I could be next to the processing plant, that's where I want to be. To the point where I can't get the product, this is as close as I need. I want to be there because it's cutting out. So then you said, I'm going to sign up with you so Cannaglow can be the fulfiller of the product. So,
Correct.
So when Cannaglow, so that's To me, I mean, to me, sort of sounding like the Mary Kay lady with the pyramid. So I got to sign up with you, so they'd be the plug. So if I just took this in traditional market, just so people can understand, I think sometimes when I talk like this, people can understand what we talking. So if I'm the plug and I'm distributing the bag to the street, what part, you saying that you're the plug's plug?
I am the owner of my personal dispensary, and I am the realtor of the dispensaries as well. So I can help people become dispensary owners instead of selling weed. I don't have to sell
So
weed.
it's the same. I agree. Okay, so if I say the plug was the dispensary, which I say it is in a roundabout way, So then I want to see the value of your company. Is it that my buying power is greater with you? Is it my quality? Or, that's when I like the concept, but then it's part of the ownership, and where is that money coming back to? That's I'm a little confused though.
Straight to my e-wallet. I get paid every Friday. So this is what. But that's why I said I have a 3-step process where I train you exactly on how to do these steps so that you know and you're confident before you even get your dispensary, because I don't want you to pay no money and you unsure. So I work you through and teach you, and we build a trusted relationship where you're making money and I'm helping you do so.
Okay, is the products that's through the store through Canaglobe, right? So say my marketplace is I want Ohio grown natural weed, and that's not offering a Canaglobe. Are you set up to take other intake from other products? So say like my buddies over at Made by a Farmer in Michigan. Is it possible to add their product line to these dispensaries?
They're not affiliates of my company, so it is not.
Not affiliate of the Wolf.
Both the Wolfpack dispensary business, or because I'm the affiliate of my Canna Glow company. I'm the distributor as well, one of them. And so if they're not connected, if they don't have any connection business wise, and their products will not be in our store. But we have our own DEA certified. You know what I'm
All
saying?
right, then that's the next question I'm gonna ask you. Why you accepting the middleman?
Why am I? Because I'm getting paid. I'm making money being a boss of my own dispensary, which makes a big difference. And like I told you, my reasoning in the beginning for even signing up is helping my people.
I'm down for that, but then I'm also not down to sign some people up for a pyramid scheme to a certain extent. When this product has been like, unlike New York, when did y'all level 30 seconds?
Your own understanding, because you have no.
All right, I agree that the Mary Kay lady gave me the same argument. I swear, gosh, she almost said the same thing. No, I ain't say that. It's not no, and I didn't say that as that we're arguing. I said that we have two different points about a set of facts. Not that we're arguing, but when I say that the Canna Glow company is basically the parent company, and then they are basically the quality keeper and the purchasers of the product, right?
They have their own warehouse. Just like you just said, you went to that one plant thing and it was like 100 yards because they don't.
100 acres.
They have, many plants.
Canna Globe. It's just like that because as much as I've been around this industry, Canna Globe and places like that that's doing drop shipping and things like that. Legally, I would have like probably we probably could spend another 30, 40 minutes talking about that legally on how they are able to do that, and then also it would be just a thing of the quality. I just think I I love the mission statement that you have about helping people.
Yes.
I do think it's me personally, I will probably go about that in a different mannerism where I think I would be trying to put the local cultivators on because I do think it's something about keeping your footprint down to save money, and it's also something about where you reside. And I think the ground also gives something back. So weed that's grown in Ohio, I think should be smoked by Ohioans and each state also. And that would be the little thing. But I am very I'm sort of interested, but then on another hand, I almost not to be so disrespectful, I think it's almost easier to give a dude an ounce and turn him out to the street and let him get back and let him bring back the money.
Correct. That's not correct.
There you glean on your own understanding.
Huh? Yeah, lean not on your understanding because you just said no. And that's what I'm saying. What you're saying is how you feel, your opinion. What I'm saying to you is based on the fact that you are, your own businessman here in Ohio. You're basically putting yourself in a box and saying only the Ohioans should smoke Ohio weed. When I feel like you should learn about, like y'all said before, about all the weed that's give out there, and you should try it all and don't be so racing or discriminatory against, everybody else that's trying to unite. See, I'm here to unite you. I'm here to work with you. Let's do something together. I'm not here to say I'm about to just take over. I'm coming to Cleveland to just have my way. No, I didn't come here, Sandra, come here to talk to you and say, since you do have a platform here, what can I do to, collaborate with you and make it bigger, make that thing grow so we can reach out to people all over the country, but not just for our own personal gain, but to really help people, uplift people in the community that need us. I don't just want to get high. As I have Isaiah have an experience when my products came to my house. I did simply because I wanted to say, because when I first signed up, I'm like, I got all these products into my house. I'm like, I have to make sure that before I even speak on this,
right,
that I make sure it's potent, I make sure it's hitting.
Right.
And I took I made one of them brownies. I got a bag of brownies.
Yeah.
And I baked it, and then I forgot that it was THC. So I'm heating it. Too many of them. I had 2 of them. 400 milligrams of my life was in the hospital because you were so strong. I was so high that I tried to go to sleep. When you go to sleep, you feel better? No, I was even higher than when I went to sleep. So with that being stated, like that really showed me that, oh my God, this is the truth. I smoked the weed that I had. It had me lit. Like I needed to try it to make sure it was good. And yeah, but this ain't about getting high. This is about helping empower my people.
I agree. Now that on a business level, I probably always gonna be a supporter of anybody who's trying to help people out in a business context. On the cannabis plant, we probably business wise and how I feel about that, I'm probably gonna disagree with you on that. And the way, I don't know, I just don't believe in adding the middleman that we don't know. Canna Globe ain't gonna be able to come here and get their feet to the fire.
Well, what if I get the money in their pocket? Now they ain't gotta worry about struggling or going to a charity to get food. When I can help put money in their pocket. It doesn't matter about the plant. The plant it is because it's medicinal and it can help people with their cannabinoid system. But the whole thing I'm trying to understand is you don't just have to get high. Now you can get high if you like to get high, but you can normally reduce. It makes a complete difference. So now I'm smoking. While I'm smoking, I got money in my e-wallet because I done helped this many family members all over the country. Big deal. I'm a big deal.
Right.
And I'm coming to give it to my family, to my people. I need y'all to know that y'all don't got to struggle no more because now it's another way. And if you love getting high, that's even better. And I'm gathered in. We gonna celebrate because let's live our best life. I'm tired of seeing my people hurt each other. You can't even go out without seeing your brother hitting on his sister or fighting each other when it should be love. What we talking about? What we talking? I don't need you to be particular about the weed and what I'm selling because I don't even care about selling the product. I'm gonna give the dispensary here, baby, make some money.
Right.
I don't care about that. I don't care about the weed. I don't care about that.
I agree, and I guess this the absolute difference between the two of us is
Correct.
All I care about is the weed.
Correct.
You talking? I love all the political and social context of it at all, but my number one thing is quality, high quality, great produced cannabis. That's me number one. I'm gonna be first off. I mean, and then past that, I'm also I'm a conscious American who got a stake in this reality also.
Yes.
And I want to gatekeep this for my kids and everything. And I do want to be here, but then also from a business context, I do like that part of the business plan of yours, but then I'm also a stickler about this plant. I am very, I grow, I cultivate. I started this podcast for similar reasons You don't need a whole lot of money to be in this industry. You don't need, if you wanted to get your business going, it was outdoor season right now. I could have gave you a pack of seeds, which I did. I gave away lots of seeds and let people plant all over. They harvesting their outdoor crops right now. Some of these people are gonna make money from the rooter to the tutor. And when you start from the seed locally, and they can ship it wherever they want to.
But that part becomes illegal if they're doing it personally, correct? If they don't do it correct by the guidelines, correct? If it's shipped by the wrong guidelines, then they're federally indicted or they're in trouble for that. You have to be careful the way you send packages off. You have to be careful.
Absolutely wrong. You got to get a little more information because you got to know what you're growing and you got to know exactly how to have it tested. And if you want to ship anything in this world, cannabis, and I say not the world, but in the United States federally, it's definitely a way to go about it. That's why I'm looking at this company right here, and I'm not 100% sure that that's the best wagon to hit your horse to because of just the things you just said about right there. I think you could get some people a better economic, a different way into this with the knowledge about how to do those same questions you ask is answers to those questions. They cost money and they cost research on how you figure that out. And if you was gonna put them onto a platform and not make them, and with all due respect, not to call it a pyramid scheme, but in the sake of time, I would say to not put them on the bottom rung of okay, you got not the bottom rung because Canaglobe is at the top. They got the product right.
No, we come in with them. We're at the top.
Canaglobe and Wolfpack is at the top.
We're at the top, yes.
I'm not going to be a third partner with you.
You at the top as well. This is not no employee. This ain't no job.
That's executive.
But we should treat that our own different because we can agree to disagree. But I'm telling you, I know my way just like you know your. So
That's what I'm saying.
you don't understand my way.
I'm just saying, if you are Amazon and I'm an Amazon affiliate, me and Amazon are not equal partners. How are we equal partners? Amazon making more than me.
We're equal because you have the ability when you get your dispensary to do the same thing I'm doing, if not better.
Pyramid scheme.
It's,
If I want to be as rich as you, I have to make a market.
that's just like if you go to a warehouse and you open a job and you have a whole bunch of people, you got to get people to come in that warehouse to make money, right? And then when you come in as an employee, so it will start in at the bottom and you work your way up to the top. So either way it goes, when you come in with me, you at the top with me and you running with me and we making money together and we going straight to
Because the same profit margin that you, because Canaglobe is in both our pockets.
but it doesn't matter because they're helping us. They're the ones that open the business. So how can we knock somebody that's just like being in the hood and somebody put you on, you still got to report back to them, give them some of their money.
The hood isn't better. The hood is better from Canaglobe because the hood will let you be on if it's your boy.
But you can also risk it.
Cause it's money. We gotta get that element out. We just gonna talk business because you said the hood. We could not even use that. Like I said, the Amazon or any business, Mary Kay is a good example of that.
Like you attack.
Scam way. I'm not
This
attacking.
is how I feel because you have your way of doing your business, and because mine's a little bit different from yours, you can't agree with how I can help people make money. And you trying to focus on the flower, and I'm focusing on the building. I'm focusing on my warehouse full of people that I'm helping empower and make money.
I agree. I agree with you, and I'm not saying like that. I said that to you even with the Mary Kay.
I can't compare myself to Mary Kay because Mary Kay ain't doing what I'm doing. Mary Kay is not doing what Jules is doing.
Jules ain't got the track record. I mean, or the
I'm one of the top 10. One of the top out of 17 players.
new like Mary Kay.
I don't think I see Mary Kay been doing this for a little while. Jules only been doing this since Pavilions.
Okay, remember.
You don't want to go there. Look, you know what I'm saying is Jules just started, but what I did was didn't forget about my people when I got put on. And once I got on the other side of the quadrant and realized, wow, this could really help people. This could really help other people. And what can I do to be impactful into the world? I need to reach them. So what I do, I moved from Florida and I came back to Ohio to reach out to somebody like y'all and say, hey, put me on your show. I need to reach out to some people and tell them.
You gonna do good. You gonna do good, and I appreciate that. And I definitely like everybody talking about cannabis. Definitely, we gonna definitely. I want you to give out some information, and don't take me wrong. I tell you, I'm just like that. I'm gonna ask you probative questions, and I am gonna, if I don't really agree to disagree. I just think you're wrong and I'm right most of the time. Just saying it brutally,
Oh, you know what I'm saying? I know what I'm saying. You prepared. She ain't getting you pain. I'm scholarship. You see that? What they say? What's that say? Focus. I'm there.
Absolutely. But focus from Made by Farmers, not from Wolfpack Hell Canada.
I didn't bring it. I didn't bring it.
You're supposed to. You always read that. But listen, I'm there. I'm here to support. I am here to support you, and I'm here to support businesses. I'm also, just because it don't fit for me, don't mean it don't fit for the next man. Absolutely right. Before we get out of here, I want you to give people some information on how we get in touch with you, how you get signed up for your social media platforms, and do you have any events coming up?
Well, I'm always traveling. I just got back from Florida running an event. I just got back from Las Vegas, launching the business out there with my team. We about to get ready to go to Puerto Rico next month. So I'm looking to take people with me so they can see it for themselves, because seeing is believing. You can reach me. You can hit me up on my phone, y'all. If y'all listening, write this down. 863-585-6386. Because I really like that in risk time. If you want to hit me up on my phone or my social media platforms, you can hit me up at Jules Charlton, JEWELS Charlton, CHARLTON, at Facebook. Or if you want to hit me up at Instagram, I'm Jules_the_gifted. Hit me up, y'all. I'm ready to help y'all, and I can help y'all today in real time. Let's go.
There we go. Well, we thank Jules and the Wolfpack and Canaglobe representing them. And as usual, I love asking probative questions. I'm glad you're a good sport about that, because some people, don't get me wrong, I was on the Mary Kay lady worse than you, because she's talking about theology and shit. I disagree with that. Well, I do appreciate you taking those tough questions. A lot of people would have been vocal. Obviously, I probably have a different light on the way we see that business, but I'm also willing to collaborate and learn, because I do not know everything.
Right.
I know some things, and I'm always a student of this game, a student of life. So I'm never going to graduate. So to think I can't learn is wrong. I do learn. I deal with a plant that's ever evolving that we're learning more and more about. So I definitely appreciate you stepping in, and then just sitting into the guests too. Shout out to Made by Farmers, who got us the good gummies in. They got Unwind. I got Focus and Skinny V here. We definitely good pots of the week this week. We definitely got some Marshmallow OG and pre-rolls and some stuff. Stay tuned for the Al Porter radio hip hop show and Hot Mess in the evening coming up. Thank y'all so much. Don't forget I'm always looking for weed testers. That's Ohio 216 SOHIGHO 216 at Gmail. First 5 people, you always gonna get something free. I think we're going to be passing out the gummies this week, so sign up on the email for that. And you can ask all our email guests if we get them. I'll show you the list there. Last week, they all got their stuff. Thanks so much for the Voice of Radio, my man EP on the board for us today. And as he always likes to say, smoke weed so you don't punch people in their face. Now, thank y'all so much. Tune in next week. I think next week we're going to have Ramon Rivas in studio with a couple other comedians. We'll run down some of the stuff we did this weekend next week. Thanks so much for Kevin, Mr. Soul, in the house tonight. I love interviewing him. Great interview with him. Thanks for Voice of Radio, and we're going to see you guys next week. Thank y'all. Wow.
Wait, where my product?
What you doing?
Let me get them gummies.
Gummies. What you doing?
Yes.
All right.
I don't smoke.